everybody, it is Psych Chrissy here for your Tuesday morning. Tuesday night. I don't know what time of day it is these days, guys. For your Tuesday evening, Life Crusher Live. How are we all doing tonight? I've actually just scratched myself, so I'm just like trying to tend to myself. Of course, these things always happen before a live. Either the dogs start fighting, I scratch myself, the phone goes off, someone tries to call me. It's all happening on the live. Hey, Caitlin, how are you tonight? If you're joining Psych Chrissy live tonight, give me a wave, give me a share, tag some people that you know might need help with whatever it is that I'm presenting on. But tonight, I thought I would help you guys out with some really cool content around assertiveness, because you wouldn't think that saying no to things would be so hard, but often we find ourselves in all kinds of pickles because we just can't muster up the courage to present ourselves in a boundaried sort of way, whether that be saying no, or whether that be voicing our opinion or putting ourselves forward in some way. Sometimes there's a lot of angst and discomfort attached to presenting ourselves in that way. So I've got some really hot tips and tricks for you guys tonight that you can learn to assist yourself to be less agreeable. And agreeability is just about saying yes for the sake of saying yes, and being able to practice good boundaries in saying no or putting your point of view forward in a helpful way, so as to avoid conflict. Or, you know, if you put it forward in the wrong way, it's probably going to end up in a fight, and we don't want that. So before I go on to the amazing content tonight, I just want to draw your attention on the post. The next Mind Body Bootcamp, guys, is kicking off. I think it's June 11. I think it's June 11. Click the link anyway to find out all of the details. As you know, or if you're a first-time watcher, we get massive results in this boot camp. It's a combination of getting the head right. Psych Chrissy takes care of that, as well as the fitness, healthy lifestyle side of things, which is fully taken care of by our personal trainer and food coach, Mel. So if you've struggled at the gym, you're a gym dropout, you hate programs, you sign up to online stuff, you never get it done, you're constantly on a diet and it fails, you try an exercise regime and it doesn't work, we're your people. All right, so it's never too late to get yourself kicked into healthy lifestyle. I know it's getting cold, guys, but come on, healthy lifestyle is, all year round, not just in summer and spring. So join us for the next boot camp. It's kicking off in a few weeks. There's a link on the post. Let's get down to business. How do we say no? How do we present some boundaries for ourselves? Well, here's my hot tips and tricks. And many of these I often share with my private practice clients or in corrections, wherever that might be. But these are some of my most favourite strategies that I often encourage my clients to practice when they come to me and say, Psych Chrissy, I just get myself into awkward situations because I don't know how to say no. Or they end up in kind of emotional turmoil because they've got something to say and they don't know how to say it. So, number one, and this one more so relates to if someone's asking you to do something or inviting you to something or, presenting you an opportunity and you really don't want to take it up. And often, to avoid the discomfort or the awkwardness, we find ourselves saying yes. And then later on, we're sitting there bloody kicking ourselves and going, why did I say that I would go to that event? Or why did I say that I would meet with that person? Or why, and it's just the function of it is really about not being able to tolerate your own emotional discomfort in putting in place a boundary. So does this sound familiar, guys? I've got a few live watchers tonight. I'm probably appealing to a few of you sitting there going, yes, Psych Chrissy, that's me. Give me the golden nuggets on that one. All right, so my favourite strategy, and I've had clients use this all the time and they absolutely swear by it. It's called the delayed decision-making strategy. So if you're being put on the spot and being pressured to provide a response to somebody who wants to know right there and then whether you will make some sort of commitment to something or you will agree to something, guess what? You don't have to provide them an answer there and then. It is you that places the pressure on yourself to be able to respond there and then. And guess what normally happens? On impulse, you say the wrong thing. So delayed decision making is really cool. It gives you the power to be able to say, you know what, Joe Blogs, I'm unsure about that. Can I get back to you at another time? And what happens is that over time, the awkwardness slips away, the discomfort slips away. You go, no, actually, I'm not prepared to do that. And I think I'll let Joe Blogs know via an email or an SMS, or I'll give him a call, or, I'll put something forward that's a far better representation of how I feel as opposed to how I respond in that moment. So getting some distance between, I suppose, the pressure or the request for a commitment and your response is the key to managing that really awkward moment. So delayed decision making, guys, that's a really good strategy. Just get back to them, just let them know. And then otherwise, they're like, okay, no problems. You don't have to make a decision now. Just let me know. And then you're able to even muster up how the conversation looks like, how you want to say it. You can plan that out, and it doesn't have to be so in the moment where you feel compelled to be agreeable just to please the other person. So delay that decision. Number 2, it's an oldie but a goodie. I really like it. It's about practicing saying no. So look, it does require you to say no and to be somewhat assertive, but I can tell you now that once you start saying no more frequently, guess what happens? You get better at it. And not only get better at it, it's not so much getting better at saying no, it's tolerating the discomfort of putting that forward and learning that you don't die and the other person doesn't die either, and everyone's okay as a result of you saying no, and the world still spins around and everyone survives and it doesn't create a massive drama. And then you go, okay, well, saying no is actually not such a bad thing, so after all, I can do that in other situations. So the more you practice putting boundaries in place and saying no, the more comfortable it kind of gets in that process. It won't be as awkward and as overwhelming to put that boundary in place the more that you actually rehearse and practice that skill. So you got to start somewhere, guys, and I can assure you the more you do that, the easier it's going to get. So another strategy for managing or for being more assertive or maintaining your boundaries, being able to say no or to address a difficult situation is about being able to recognise how you feel in any situation. Not only being able to recognise how you feel, so if you're feeling uncomfortable or unsure or uncertain, no good responses come from that place. So being able to check back in on yourself and going, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable here. It's probably not the best time to start making a decision or to give somebody a level of commitment or to agree to something, because emotions cloud judgment. Okay, so that's why delayed decision making is so cool, because it allows you to go calm down, gather your thoughts and go, hang on a minute, I don't want to do that. And then be able to come back and put your boundary in place. But in that moment, sometimes even communicating that level of discomfort from somebody to somebody can be helpful. So it's okay to say to somebody, look, Joe Blogs, I'm just feeling really uncertain at the moment, or I'm feeling really overwhelmed, or I'm feeling really unclear. What I'd like is, or would you be able to, or could I just, so awareness of emotions, being able to identify what they are and then communicate that to the other person is also a good way of letting the other person know in that transaction that something's going on for you in that moment that really impedes your ability to make a good, competent decision. So identification, statement of feelings, and then a suggestion of, what you need from them, whether it's more time or, you need to go away and think about it, or you feel like, you're being confronted by something something and it's really uncomfortable, whatever it is that you need. But statements of feelings in that situation is really important. The next one's a good one, and I do this a lot in my private practice. I've done it a fair amount in my correctional work as well. This is rehearsals, so skill rehearsals. So if you've got a difficult conversation coming up, or you've got a boundary that you need to put in place, or you've got to say no to someone and you're really not looking forward to it, the best way to get, I suppose, into the frame of mind that you need to be in to be able to go forth and put that boundary in place is to actually practice what you're going to say. So it's not unusual for me in private practice. I often have clients come to me and say, Psych Chrissy, I've got to have this really awkward conversation. I've got to say no, or I've got to raise this issue. What do I actually do? So we go backwards and forwards in rehearsing those conversations. And I often coach that client in what to say, or I give them some suggestions of how to sort of ease that a little bit more, or how to become more clearer in their communication. But besides that, without even the Psych Chrissy intervention, just the process of practicing that verbalization decreases emotional discomfort. So then when it becomes time to actually come forth and say it, it's not as awkward as what it would be if you'd never actually verbalized it before. So rehearsal can be a really good way of kind of acclimatizing yourself to that conversation, which makes you far better place of being able to put your point forward when it's time to rock and roll. So the last one, guys, and this is an interesting one because when I was doing a little bit of research for this, and a lot of this is my own sort of learnings in private practice, but I thought, what's out there? You know, what's available in, I suppose, the digital space around being able to practice good assertiveness skills. And I came across this, I don't even know if it's a theory, but they called it fogging. So fogging is the ability, if you're getting some harsh criticism, or you're getting somebody giving you some feedback and you're in the moment and you don't know what to say and it's really difficult to digest and all of the emos are happening and you don't know what to say. Fogging is the art of acknowledging that there may be some truth to what somebody is saying, but remaining, I suppose, measured in your own decision making and not necessarily being impacted by that. So you still carry on and do whatever you were going to do in exactly the way that you were going to do, but you're acknowledging what that person's saying. So for example, you know, if you're in a confrontational situation or a conflict and somebody says, you know what, Joe Blogs, you never listen. You never listen to me. Every time we have a difficult conversation, I can just see you switching off there. Now, your response, if you were practicing fogging, you would be saying to this person, yes, Mary Lou, you know, I can appreciate that sometimes it probably appears like I don't listen to everything that you say. That's it. Just an acknowledgement. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to change whatever it was that you were doing in that moment, because obviously that person's experience, but just the acknowledgement can help de-escalate that situation and help you navigate that and provide a response which is much more well-balanced and measured. It's not impulsive, it's not it's still assertive, and it's not allowing you to be pushed around by somebody's criticism or opinion. So let's quickly rehash some of these skills, guys, because I want you to go out. There's a few watches tonight, which is cool. So it must be a hot topic. This must be something that people are struggling with. And in fact, I didn't actually put my screen on to check whether anyone was commenting. I do this on my phone, and for some reason the comments don't come up. So if you're commenting or you've got questions, I should have had it on my laptop, but I don't have it. But I'll check those out later on if you've got any questions. But like I said, share or, you know, tag somebody in the post that might use this information. So number 1, delayed decision making. I will get back to you. Don't feel compelled to give an answer to somebody in the moment, particularly if you're feeling discomfort, because it's likely going to be the wrong response. Give yourself some space, move away from that, give yourself some time to de-escalate and tell them you'll get back to them later. It also gives you some time to think about how you want to put that boundary in place or how you want to say no. Practice makes perfect. Practice saying no. It'll get easier. I promise you guys. Being able to understand, identify and articulate emotions and how you're feeling in a situation can help increase your assertiveness in a challenging situation. Rehearsals and role plays, practice with another person, whatever it is that you want to say in that difficult conversation. It could be Psych Chrissy, it could be your neighbour, it could be your mate, whoever you want to practice with. Just sit down and say, hey, can I just troubleshoot this conversation that I need to have? Give me some feedback if you like. But even just the process of verbalising that conversation will make it easier to have later on. And last but not least is the interesting concept that I found called fogging. And that is actually acknowledging that there might be some truth to what the person is saying, but not letting that sway your decision making in terms of what you intend to do, how you intend to do it, or the decision that you intend to move forward with. So it is de-escalating the situation because you are acknowledging that person's point of view, but you're self-preserving as well because you're not necessarily being pushed around by that. So there we go, guys. Who is going to go out and put at least one of these strategies in place? I would encourage you to put all of them in place if you're a bit of a yes person or you're agreeable and you don't really say no and you struggle with boundaries, because they're all really productive and helpful ways of being able to protect yourself from making decisions that you didn't necessarily want to make. So there we go, guys. I hope that has been helpful for the Life Crusher Live tonight. Join us for the next Mind Body Bootcamp. The link is on the post. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. I hope that was helpful, guys. See you later.